Hello and welcome to the what is it? The 19th of July edition of ZTG News Burst. Small crowd today, just me and Justin.
Hello. Couldn't remember what day it was, did you?
No, I don't know. It's close. It's borderline 20. It's borderline 20th here. It's 11 p.m. So hence the reason why big bags under the eyes.
Yeah. Living in the future. Anything special happen I should know within the next 5 hours?
Apparently the world's going to end. The zombies at the door and all sorts.
Oh, shit. No, I'll have to
Good
get
luck
my
with
shotgun ready. Thanks for the look, head.
Anyway, how are you?
Tired. Headache. How are you?
Just tired and hot. British summertime is actually kicking in for the first time in 7 years, apparently the news saying. It's the longest summer we've had, and it is, I mean, you guys are probably used to it. You probably get really great summers every year, probably boiling hot, hence the reason why you got an air conditioner behind you. But the British aren't equipped to deal with heat and cold extremities, so as long as it's raining, drizzly, blowy, a little cold, we're fine. But it gets too cold or too hot, we all whinge, and that's exactly what's happening here. So it's
Nancy's.
baking.
All of you are Nancy's.
I say it's 30 degrees, which I don't know what that works out in your Celsius, but in your Fahrenheit. But it was 30 degrees Celsius today, and
well,
too hot.
I don't know what that is either. So why don't we, before we start the show, let's see how hot it is over in jolly old England. You said it's 30 degrees Celsius?
Well, it was. It's probably not now. It seems it's almost midnight, but it's
right.
fucking
so
hot.
It was 86 degrees. Never mind. We'll move on because it felt like over 100 degrees here today, and it's felt 86 over there. It's hot. What? That's not hot. That's normal. That's normal for spring weather too. Whatever. All right, let's just move on.
It's a British way. Anyway, let's actually get on with what we're here to do today. So we've got a few news stories for you to chew on. First of all is a couple of announcements from Capcom. First of all, earlier in the week at the annual EVO fighter tournament, they announced a new edition, another edition of Street Fighter 4. I'm sure Drew is salivating or spitting feathers, one of the two, because you know what he feels about Capcom and their money-grabbing ways.
Actually, when we were wrapping up the last part of Phoenix Down for Castlevania, I was on their Phoenix Down, he's pretty excited about it. There was no complaints really about the DLC and everything. So.
Well, at least they've kind of done it in a great way, or a better way this time. There are going to be 5 new characters, 4 of which are from the Street Fighter Cross Tekken game, and there's one as yet to be announced new character, and there's also going to be, I believe, 5 new arenas.
I thought it was 6.
It might be 6. I've just put new arenas, but it could. I knew it was, well, it's 5 or 6 anyway. And it's coming to PC, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 later on, is it next year? Or this year? No, next year. Sorry, it is 2014. And it will be either as a standalone game, so for $20 you'll get Ultra Street Fighter 4, and it will include all of the DLC from the previous version, so from, I guess, Super Street Fighter 4. Or you can buy it as an add-on if you already have it for just $12. So at least it kind of. That's what it said on the release.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 standalone.
Ken was saying it was 15.
Well, I've got $11.99 and for the add-on, and $19.99 for the standalone product.
Okay, well, that's not a bad little price for all that.
Well, at least they're giving you the option. So if you've already got Super Street Fighter 4, it's just basically DLC again. However, if you've got none of them and this is the one that's going to tempt you in, then you can buy it on its own. So that's fair enough. But then also today they announced that Strider's coming back. So
not today. It was announced earlier this week.
Was it today? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there you go. I don't know. I don't know why.
It could be. I don't know.
I thought it was today, but yeah, it might have been earlier in the week. But anyway, they have announced Strider's coming back. I'm sure Gambus is going to be wetting himself with excitement. It's by the looks of it, it's going to be a downloadable game. It's kind of got that look to it, side-scrolling. Nothing's changed too much. They have gone for the Metroidvania style of gameplay, where you will unlock stuff as you progress, which will allow you to open other stuff up from previous levels. But we'll know what it's like next year when that releases. So I'm sure a lot of people are excited. It's been quite a while. I mean, when was the last Rider game?
Oh, 80s, I think. I mean, I remember the name. I don't remember the game. So.
I can, because it came to arcade, if I remember rightly. But also, I'm sure I played it on the Mega Drive or the Genesis.
Wow, Genesis. I don't know. I'm sure it did hit consoles, but I don't know. Like I said, I just know the name. I don't remember the game. So.
I wasn't a huge fan, to be fair, but we know Gambus was, and I'm sure he'll have something to say about that on the podcast.
Oh, he was excited. I'm pretty sure I saw something on Facebook. He was
that excited. He actually went to Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. His rare, post, and it was about Strider. So.
Fair enough. Next news story. Plants vs. Zombies 2, It's About Time, has got a kind of a beta release, I guess, is the word to call it, in Australia and New Zealand to test the waters, so to speak, with their new free-to-play method of charging for this game, I guess. And apparently, it's going down quite well. The reviews that have been coming in have actually said that it's not that big a deal, that you can pay for stuff. It doesn't kind of force it to you. It doesn't affect the gameplay. You can still progress through the game, just as well. The add-ons are there to just give you a little bit of a speed up if you need it, which, to be fair, was the thing I worried about, being EA and their track record with making you grind and grind and grind and grind unless you paid for stuff. It's nice to hear that it's not going that way with Plants vs. Zombies 2. I think that would have been a silly move, but you never can tell with these games publishers, especially ones that are trying to make a fair bit of cash off an IP that's incredibly popular. But still no release date, not for the US or Europe, no confirmed date. It's still set for summer, so I guess maybe later this month, maybe next month, could go possibly as long as September.
Right, and it's interesting, only Australia and New Zealand is in with this beta.
I guess it's probably because it's maybe one of the smallest regions in regards to people with iOS devices.
And that's what I was thinking too when you were saying that. So, but still, I mean, I thought maybe you would want to test bigger markets too. But.
Well, this, I guess, is just a way of them ironing out any kinks that may arise. Testing that free-to-play freemium model, seeing how people respond to it. Seeing whether, maybe they're not going for a huge amount of cash. Maybe they are thinking, on iOS, we will make it this way. There'll be a little bit of, a few add-ons to pay for. But at some point, it's going to get released on all the other consoles, no doubt, as the first one did. So, your Vita, your DS or 3DS, your Xbox 360, PlayStation, and that won't be free. So they'll make their money back off that, I'm sure. And PC, it's got to come to PC at some point. I mean, that's where the game originated from. So all of those type of games, no doubt, will be charged. So they'll make their money somewhere along the line. So maybe that's why. Maybe they're not that fussed about the cash that they make from the iOS version. But it's nice to know that the reviews are coming in. I'm excited for the game. And it's nice to know that I'm not going to get screwed over when it does come to release over here. Unless they radically change it, they might find they're not making any money off of it at all that they wanted, and when it actually gets a full release, we're all going to get screwed. Time will tell.
Oh, what are they going to charge then? $1? Oh no.
No, well, it's not
$2?
that. It's all in. It's basically about the locking the paywall, essentially locking things behind the paywall. So. I hated how Skylanders did it. They blocked off certain areas of levels unless you had a specific elemental character or a character from a specific element, and so you had to go out and buy it. And that's essentially what they could have done. They could have locked off certain parts of levels, and there are levels to come as well, because apparently that comes with 3 time zones, but there is a 4th teased, and that possibly could be paid for. But you know, if you get massive amount of enjoyment out of the 3 levels or the 3 time zones that you get in the free game, and they then say to me if I want to play the 4th one, I'm going to have to pay 99p or something like that. I think I'd pay that, I guess. So we'll see how it works out. It shouldn't be too long, hopefully. Next on the agenda is a couple of things from Sony. First off is their change in their digital management terms and conditions. Now, previously, if you bought anything, say for example you went on to your PlayStation 3 and you purchased a film, if you were to delete that, or if you were to swap devices, you would lose that film forever, even though you'd have paid to keep it. The changes now mean that it's re-downloadable, much in the same way as iOS and Apple purchased. If you buy movie or music from there, it's re-downloadable on other devices. This is the same for movies on the Sony Entertainment Network. So if you buy a film on your PlayStation 3, you can re-download it onto your Vita, onto your smartphone, onto your TV, I guess, because now they do the smart TVs. I'm sure they linked into the Entertainment Network. So
they do. I actually have a Sony smart television.
So you can log in with your PSN ID and buy films there.
I don't know. I think they just do the music, to be honest. You know, you can buy the music
on the TV.
The Music Unlimited thing. I could be wrong. I didn't really play with it because I don't really buy movies on the PSN.
Okay.
But maybe I'll have to. Maybe just to see how that works. But I'm sure.
Well, apparently now it's available across all of their platforms. So it's a wise move.
Absolutely.
I think it's mean if you buy something, you know, if you rent something, that's fine. Of course, you don't expect to keep it. But if you buy something and your hard drive goes wrong and you've got to swap it out on your PlayStation, then it's unfair. If you want to download that film again, you have to pay for it. So it's keeping up with the times, I guess, and it's how all digital purchases should be. They shouldn't be restricted.
Right, especially with limited hard drive space.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. The other thing that's going on is both Pixel Junk Monsters and Worms Revolution Extreme has been announced for the Vita. So 2 very popular games that are coming with Pixel Junk Monsters Ultimate, which is a remastering of the original game with added content. That's coming out on the 31st of July, so not next week, week after, so it's not too far away. And Worms Revolution Extreme will be launching later this year, so no confirmed date there. 2 great games, and they'll be fantastic on that platform. I mean, I play the Pixel Junk Monsters Deluxe, I think it's called, the PSP version. I play that on my Vita, and you know, to have the HD version specially made for it, which will utilise touchscreen and stuff like that, it's fantastic. And this kind of came out of nowhere. It was announced a couple of weeks ago, and now all of a sudden it's coming out. So that's pretty cool.
I haven't played any of them, so
no.
Nope. I mean, I downloaded them when I first joined the PlayStation Plus, and I downloaded whatever. I think Monsters was one of them. Oh,
Monsters is fantastic. It is well, between that and Plants vs Zombies, they are my 2 most favourite tower defense games, and they stand out a mile just because of their takes on the genre.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth playing if people haven't got it. And again, if you've got a Vita, this is a great excuse to pick it up again for sure.
Right.
So before we head on to some of the other stories, we have decided to add a little segment in between the main news where we're just going to fire off some quick headlines. I'm going to leave that to Justin. He's going to take that lead. It's just going to be some quick stuff, and we might add the odd comment or 2. So after you for the quick bursts.
All right. A mobile game based on the TV show Firefly is coming to mobile devices. Well, iOS and Android anyway.
So you don't give a shit about that, do you?
Actually, I'm not. It's not me that didn't like Serenity
Was it
or
Ken?
Firefly. It's Ken.
Ken, oh yeah, Ken hates everything, doesn't he?
Yeah. But Yes, he does. But I don't care about the game, especially for mobile devices.
Well,
I just don't care.
at least it's. I mean, I'm sure Josh Whedon will be involved. Probably not extensively, but that'll be cool.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
Ubisoft's The Division is set for release next year in the fall. Never heard of it. Oh wait, The Division.
Oh, that was math. That made a massive
Wait
impact.
a minute.
E3.
Yeah, I keep getting these games mixed up in my head. So.
Well, it's when the world's gone to shit, and that seems to be Ubisoft's big thing at the moment. Watch Dogs, The Division, Splinter Cell, the world's going to the shit, and we're all circling the pan. It's a shame. Got to wait a year for it, but I'm sure it'll be worth a wait.
Right, release is not rushed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crap.
This year's Watch Dogs, so maybe they'll do alternating. Unlike Assassin's Creed, where it's every fucking year now at this point. Maybe they'll alternate between Watch Dogs and Division. Maybe they're set in the same universe. Maybe there's something more, maybe that's news to come kind of thing. Maybe they're going to sort of jump that on as, these are set in the same universe, and
I don't think they'll be in the same universe.
Well, because it's all the same sort of thing, and that the world's gone to shit, and it's possible. Maybe they're linked in some way. Well, we'll see. But it'd be nice for them to take it 1 year, biannually. So is that the word, biannually, or is that twice a year? I can't remember. But anyway, alternate between years.
Right on.
Sorry, go on. Yes.
Okay, it's all good. PlayStation 3 wireless headsets will be compatible with PlayStation 4, which is pretty huge.
Well, no. Well, to be fair, probably expected for some people, because most of those wireless headsets. Exactly. So most of them are Bluetooth. So there would be no reason why they wouldn't work.
Absolutely.
It's just Sony sort of poking fun at
digging
Microsoft.
into Microsoft.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Keep putting the dirt over their grave.
Why not?
So to speak. I don't care. I'm still getting my Xbox. Fuck the world. So, Ace Combat Infinity. Let me try that again. Ace Combat Infinity is exclusive to PlayStation 3 and possibly free to play.
Well, there's talks of it. They've just announced it, and unlike the last one, which was Assault Horizon, was it?
Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that. It sounds right. Sure. It'll be right.
Yeah.
Apparently, because that was on PC and Xbox as well. This one's only been announced for PS3, and they've just done the Tekken stuff that's free to play. So maybe they've thought this was a good idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
I'm not into the combat flying, so.
Nah, me neither.
Deadly Premonition. Can't get enough of this. It's coming to PC via Steam's Greenlight program.
Awesome. I've never played it. I'm never gonna.
I've seen it played, and I'm like, nope, not for me.
Well, it's obviously done well, so.
I guess.
It's certainly popular. It's held in sort of. I don't know. Is it because it's so bad it's good kind of esteem, or just because it's a bit weird like Twin Peaks?
That's what it is. I think it's just so bad it's good. So.
I'm not going to hold. I could be wrong. It could be brilliant. I've never played it.
It's definitely not brilliant.
I've never played it, and I'm not likely to because it's not my kind of thing. But it's a great way for it to get on there for sure, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it.
Sure. You might have to help me out with this next one because I don't know if that O was supposed to be in there.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So American McGee's O Zombie Kickstarter fails. I've never even heard of it, so probably why it failed.
Well, there you go. It's not your fault. It's you haven't.
It is all my fault.
You're the one. No, it's your fault.
Yeah. Suck it. That's what happens. And apparently they put up a new one for Alice Otherlands.
Yeah, this just makes me laugh. I have no idea. I couldn't give two shits about any of those games, but Zombie didn't make the Kickstarter quite substantially as well. It really failed to hit, and then as soon as that failed, they stuck up another one. So you think, I don't know. This Kickstarter thing still
is pretty big. I mean, that's what made. I mean, when you hear American McGee, you hear Alice.
That might be the case. However, the last one didn't sell enough to get a third one made. So
true, but if you talk to people who played it, says it's awesome.
Yeah, but that, again, didn't sell the numbers. So is that going to be enough to warrant a Kickstart? Is that going to make the money? Good luck, Tom.
Possibly, because
I mean,
you said
never
this is
played
what
the first.
Kickstarter's for. You know, stuff like this, like, oh, hey, we had this game years and years ago that was a big hit. It made a sequel, didn't sell so well, so let's try Kickstarter. Maybe the cult following will,
Maybe
put up the money for it.
Yeah, you never know. Good luck to them. I mean, I played a little bit of the last one, the Madness. Is it Return to Madness or Madness Returns? My memory's
I
going
don't know. I didn't play it.
I played a little bit, but it was quite good. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I enjoyed what I did play a bit. But the first one I did play, and I didn't like that at all. So, yeah, fair play.
State of Decay is coming to PC, and sandbox mode has been hinted.
Yes, I love State of Decay. I am playing that quite extensively, especially today. And the sandbox mode's been hinted at, which is something a lot of people wanted. Basically, just having the world to play about with, without any of the time constraints. The problem that you find with State of Decay is that all of the other stuff going on, and the fact that you've got to keep your home base stocked with food and munitions and supplies, you end up kind of missing out on some of the missions. So it's not as strict as Dead Rising, but there's the same sort of element there where certain missions are only available for a certain period of time. The only ones that aren't are the ones that progress the story, and so you do find that you don't see all of these missions or go on them because you're too busy trying to scavenge for shit. So having a sandbox mode that maybe removes that time restriction might be quite cool.
Sony will be shutting down servers for MAG and SOCOM 4 next year, January.
January, I think it's 24th or 28th or something like that.
So end of January.
And you can just about hear the cries of about 10 people, Karen.
10 people, yes. I was going to say 5, but we'll go with 10.
I'm surprised they haven't given that away on a PlayStation Plus and tried to resurge that, but I guess that game wasn't ever going to compete with the likes of Battlefield and Call of Duty and the such.
Right, and I wonder how many people are still playing it, because I haven't heard MAG in forever, and that's an online-only game, so that's pretty much, if you bought it, you're out that money anyway. So.
But if you bought it and were still playing it, you've got your value's worth. I'm sure there are people who do care about this. I'm sure there are people who are really good at it and are still playing it religiously, and that is unfortunate. But
well, I'm sure Sony saw, they did their research. They saw how many people were logging in. Like, well, it's just not enough to warrant these servers staying up. So. No,
more than likely. But this does kind of highlight the issues that we may face next generation with the digital download stuff. So,
and again, you said it perfectly. They got their money's worth, and it's been years, and it's been years since it came out.
Yeah.
So
and this is an online game as well, as you say. I mean, the issues that people have with next gen is single player stuff. So online, I mean. You look at EA; they shut down servers every year for old games, so it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Right. Oh. My PC stuff. Sorry.
There you go. The light shining on you.
I keep forgetting to move it so it doesn't go to sleep. But Xbox One games to be playable while installing.
Yeah, that's doable, I guess, nowadays, and considering. The games are going to have a mandatory install originally anyway. It stands to reason that they had the technology to allow you to start playing while it's installing. You only have to probably load up the first 5% of the game so that people can then start, and then the rest will do. I mean,
isn't this old news? I'm sure didn't they say this before?
No, that's Sony.
Okay, whatever.
Same thing. But I mean, if you look at how long it takes to install an Xbox game, it's not that long. And I know that the
as compared to the PlayStation 3 games, when it takes 19 years.
Yeah. And although there'll be bigger games, of course, because they're probably larger in size, it's still, you get 5% in, play it, that's fine. So, that's awesome. That's cool. That's a good feature. It should be there.
Before we end this little quick burst, I know it's not exactly quick, but we'll cut some down.
We'll streamline it.
Right. Why all the hate for Xbox still? That's an interesting little, question.
Who, for me?
No, not from you. From everyone who's hating on it, because these systems are essentially the same. They do almost the exact same features. And Sony released a video and news last week, or was it earlier this week? I don't remember. Giving you 20 features that you might not have known what the PS4 can do, and most of them are what Xbox can do. So why all the hate?
It's the same story as last generation. People pick a side, they can't afford both consoles, so they pick one, and then they defend their purchase, or they defend their decision to buy it, and that means slagging off the other one. It's always the same. It's just, if you talk to any reasonable person, they will look at the consoles and they will weigh up what is a benefit to them, which one stands out to them the most. For those that can't afford two consoles, they'll look and say, well, I like this one because it does this and that's what I'm interested in, or I like that one because it does more of what I want it to do. But
they all do.
You can't,
these two do the same thing.
They practically do. It's right. You'll get...
There's $100 difference.
There is $100, and that's a lot. But
it is. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot. But again, you're paying for Kinect.
Yeah, you do get that built in, and I just think that the other thing you have to bear in mind is that everyone likes an underdog, and at the moment, Sony are an underdog. And so,
not from whatever not from what Microsoft has been doing recently.
At the moment, they're an underdog. They'd always been considered. They'd always been well. To be fair, they've sold both about the same systems, so that doesn't count. But they've always been classed as the underdog this turnaround, and people do like an underdog. But I think a lot of the hate comes from it's just venomous, and the problem is that because of the way that Microsoft handled themselves at the launch event and then at E3, and then that subsequent week after, they just screwed up, and it's their fault. And I think they've actually come out now already this week and said, sorry, we put our hands up. We should have got our messaging correct.
Everyone messes up. Everyone.
But when you're talking about a company that is as rich as that and has people at the top as intelligent as they are, messing up is not an option.
But okay, so how many people were they this angry when Sony, said outright that we have security flaws and we aren't doing anything about it, and then got hacked?
Yeah, there were a lot.
That's worse.
Yeah, there were a lot
worse.
But people forget about that sort of stuff, but at the time,
everyone
was spitting fire over it.
No, I guarantee you, no one, and if they do, they're stupid. They shouldn't forget. No one should forget about security issues.
No, absolutely.
That's huge.
I got an email this week from Battle.net saying my account's been hacked.
See? It happens all the time. And for someone as big as Sony, and I know it's a different issue. I mean, we're going to new systems, but it's just saying, there's so much hate and venom towards Microsoft because, their communications was awful. Mm. But I'm comparing it to Sony because the biggest fuck up Sony did was letting those security flaws get,
But people have short memories.
Yeah, we'll see. Assholes. Whatever. I should just shut up.
Yeah, to be fair, you've made your decision, and you are sticking with it. Yeah, that's fine. What you have to realise is that people can't always afford both, and
that's fine. But they shouldn't go and attack the other system.
But that's what the internet's for. That's what
the internet is
for.
No, it's not what it's for.
Well,
it's what it's
used
become.
For. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm not going to get an Xbox at launch. I will get one.
Right.
Because honestly, the PlayStation speaks to me better, but that doesn't mean that I'm against what Xbox does. The problem that I see with the Xbox and this comes from me living in the UK, is a lot of the features they are still harping on about won't be available to us at launch, maybe not available at all, and that kind of is what they're trying to sell. So if you're trying to sell half your system based upon a service that I can't use, then you're not really trying to appeal to me that much. So that's my biggest beef with it. It's not that it's a bad machine or it looks like a Betamax player or whatever they keep on harping on about. It's the fact that at the moment PlayStation 4 is the one that suits me best, but this argument's going to go on until November, and beyond.
You know what? This will be the last time. I'm done. I'm done with this argument. So I just wanted to see how that was because with Sony releasing that video, I'm pretty sure it was this week, but releasing it, I'm just like, well, it does everything an Xbox does now, so why the hate? So whatever. I'm done with this argument.
Anyway, I'm going to move us on. We shall roll that one on. This is just for the European friends. Sony announced a fantastic lineup this month, or next month, sorry, for PS Plus subscriptions. The 3 PlayStation 3 games you're going to be getting are Mafia 2, which I've played, is okay. It's for free. Every game's brilliant, really. However, Spec Ops: The Line, fantastic game. That's coming along with what was the other one? It
Need for
was
Speed Most
Need for
Wanted.
Speed Most Wanted. So, two really good games and a third good game. And then on Vita, you've got When Vikings Attack, which I haven't played, and I've been tempted to buy, and I'm glad I didn't now. And Lego Lord of the Rings. So another great stellar lineup for the UK and Europe.
What's,
Do you guys know what you're getting in the States?
I was just going to ask. I don't know. I don't know.
You're not looked up.
No, I didn't. So, whatever.
I'll tell you what, you can do the last story because this has nothing to do with me. I have no interest in it, and I'll tell you what the PS Plus US one is for August.
Okay. The NCAA will not be renewing the contract with EA. I believe this has something to do with a lawsuit. I didn't read up on the lawsuit, but it has something to do with using player likenesses, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, that's generally what those licenses are, and for the use of the logos and the kind of...
Well, it's not so much the logos. I did a little bit of reading it while at work to see if I can, shed a little more light to the story. But it's the players, they're using their likenesses and they're not getting paid.
Okay.
Because college players, they don't get paid to play at all.
Oh, of course they don't know because they're college. Yeah, of course.
Right. So that is a big deal. But it does leave it open for, they are making college football for the next-gen systems. This is the last NCAA. So from here, they can possibly still use the stadiums, the uniform colors, but they just can't use the players. So, or other likenesses, because they, if you noticed, you'd probably never noticed, but NCAA, unless they changed this recently, because I really don't play it, they don't put the names, the last names on the back of the jerseys. They put their numbers.
Okay, I would not know. No.
Okay. Well, they usually just put their numbers because they would have to pay to use those names. So.
Okay.
So this, I guess, was inevitable. I guess it was coming. So, what I did read was a possibility for them to do is just release a college football game, use the stadiums, use the, and I could be wrong about the stadiums. I don't know what falls under this, lawsuit or whatever. I don't know what falls, but they could possibly use the stadiums, the colors, and just make your own roster of college football players. So. I don't know. I don't really know, honestly. What
again? I can't chime in on this at all. I do not.
I'm really
single thing about it.
I'm with you on that. I really don't. I don't pay attention to college football. I don't pay attention to college anything. But I know it has a huge following over here in the States, and I really wish I could shed more light, but I can't because I don't really care. So
fair enough.
I just know that you can no longer use their likenesses, and as for team colors, team names, team stadiums, I don't know. I don't know. So.
Well, there you go.
So sorry.
That's our educated view on that.
I thought there was a press statement, but I didn't. Well, I don't know if there is an official statement.
If it's, to be fair, if it's all in regards to like lawsuits and shit, there's probably very little any real information in those kind of things because they generally will keep hush hush while there's lawsuits and shit going on. So
I'm pretty sure, like I said, the lawsuit has something to do with using player likenesses without paying them because you're essentially putting a real life person in the game and like you're not getting paid for Grand Theft Auto.
No, yes. Yeah,
very think about that. Whatever. That's your Twitter fucking avatar, John.
Yes, oh, fair enough.
So I would crying foul about that if I were you.
That's fair enough. I can only find that Jet Set Radio is free on that was an update on the 16th. Your months must run differently to ours because we got our update at the beginning of July, and then we're getting our next one at the end. So.
Oh yeah, we won't get one until August, which I think they won't announce it until the week before, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how they announced their stuff.
But you've already had Spec Ops anyway. That came a few months ago, didn't it?
Yep. I would like Most Wanted, to be honest.
You never know. You guys got Battlefield this month, didn't you?
Yes. Oh shit! I forgot I downloaded that.
We got Battlefield as well, so maybe that's EA. So maybe you'll get That's cool. I played it on the Vita, and it's pretty good, but it's a bit too fast for that small screen because you can't. The distance that you can see in front of you is not good enough for high speed racing. So there you go. So yeah, that's everything. That's our uneducated view on this week's top stories.
Yeah, we should probably do some more research on big stories like this NCAA one.
Well, again, to be fair, I wouldn't understand it. I'd read it, and it would be like reading Latin.
Well,
I just don't understand the game.
And to me, it's essentially the same because they got so many conferences. I don't know what the hell they call them in college. They got the Pac-10 or Big. Who gives a shit? I don't know. They got so many of these different conferences, and that's been changing. And I don't know. It just sucks for college football fans, but I mean, it's not that huge of a deal, I don't think.
Well, Again, I say I didn't really read much into it, but then again, I wouldn't. If that had been EA lose a license to NFL, I'm sure that would have been.
Oh, that would be. You better believe I'd be all over that, but I just don't know. I know. The only thing I know is it's college, and there's restrictions and stuff you can and can't do, and apparently they broke one of the things you can't do. So.
There you go. Layman's terms.
Yeah, and that's essentially what it comes down to, is they broke one of their NCAA policies. So there's a lot of restrictions on these college kids.
Well, fair play. So we apologise that there was no special guest this week.
No, we don't. We don't apologise for that. That's not our fault.
That's not our fault.
No.
We will strive to get one for next week. We'll see what we can do.
And it was supposed to be Foam Finger Day.
It was supposed to be Foam Finger Day. No foam fingers. I couldn't find mine. Sorry. I will hunt around. If not, we'll find something else to do next week.
No, it's going to be.
Do you have silly oversized glasses?
No.
I've got those.
God. No.
You know, the big sunglasses are kind of.
I understand what you're talking about, John.
I found those looking for a foam finger. So sorry.
Well, maybe you can do those, and I'll do foam finger.
Okay. We'll see if we can get that sorted. Of course, if you want to follow any of our ramblings on Twitter, you can do. It's at Killer Wolverine for Justin, and at John W, DUBYA UK for myself. And of course, follow the site at ZTGD.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Was your Twiddle? Was your Twiddle?
Twiddle. You just invented a new social network, Twiddle.
Hey, I gotta get on that. I should start coding that.
Yeah, I'll trademark that fucker.
Oh, it's already gone. Someone already, took that idea. Because we're live and all, so it's
yeah, that's it. Too late. It's on the internet now.
Is there a John W USA? Is that why you put the UK on there?
No, but there was a John W.
Oh,
I believe that's why.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, it all stemmed from one of my main accounts not having the John W, so I put UK, and because I like mine auto match, I then stuck it. So I think it was my Xbox One, and that was taken, so I put the UK on, and then it went on my PlayStation and Twitter and various other Raptor and all that shit, Steam. So it kind of stuck that way. I don't know if there's a John W. I do know there is a John W. Because I tried to get that one, but hey ho, never mind.
Okay. Before we end, did we have any Comic-Con news? Because that's going on. And I don't.
Not overly. There's nothing that big. Yes, there was some news. Nothing that was that we would really care that much about. Nothing that we didn't already know.
Maybe
Xbox
we'll put
and
it
PS3.
Well, they're on the floor, weren't they?
They were, absolutely, yeah. Which I find completely fucking odd, but
I don't. I mean,
yes,
this is like
themselves out.
Comic-Con is the biggest geek convention of the year. I mean, not just video game geeks; it's comic book geeks, sci-fi geeks. It's a great show. I really want to go, and of course they're going to be there. That's a huge show.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And if one missed out, then that would have been bad for whoever missed out. But I'm glad they're both there. Maybe we can get some quick bursts going on with what happened at Comic-Con for next week's show.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's more to come because it's really only starting to kick off, hasn't it? Because
I believe it just
Thursday,
started
Friday.
Today. Okay. I think the main stuff's going down. I think it's a weekend show if I'm not mistaken. So I think it starts today.
We'll no doubt have some stuff if there is anything of interest coming out of there on next week's show. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can email. We're using the podcast email for that, which is podcasts@ztgd.com. Of course, you can leave comments in the comments bar below. If you like, hate, despise us, whatever.
I don't see a comment bar. Oh, you mean when it's on YouTube?
When it's there, come on.
I knew what you're talking about.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Sorry.
And we will be back at some point next weekend as well. So
no,